Are you ready? There we go. So again, welcome to Let's Talk Low Tech. This is our introduction to low and mid tech, augmentative and alternative communication. I'm Laura Martinez. I am the Assistive Technology Program Manager at TASK, and I'm joined by...
Good morning, I'm Elizabeth Ortega, Assistive Technology Specialist at TASK. TASK is a parent training and information center. We are a nonprofit. We serve 6 counties in Southern California. Our mission is to educate and empower people with disabilities and their families to become effective communicators and self-advocates. Our disclaimer: TASK staff are not advocates or attorneys. We do not provide recommendations, legal advice, or suggestions. Our family support specialists offer peer-to-peer support information and options to parents of children with disabilities so they can become informed members of the IEP team and work collaboratively with schools. Here are some of our services. Our family support specialists help families understand the special education process by providing one-on-one phone consultations, virtual IEP consultations, and review of documentation, assistance with letter writing. They offer a variety of educational webinars, support for military families, information, and resources. We have 2 online support groups. Parent Connection and Restorative Connection. Both support groups are for parents only. Parent Connection is led by TASK staff and meets the 4th Tuesday of the month from 10 to 11 a.m. And Restorative Connection is led by a mental health professional and meets twice a month on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday from 6 to 7. And our services within the Tech Center, we offer a variety of assistive technology webinars, individualized online lab appointments if you're looking for specific apps or of websites. If we know of them or we have the apps, we can schedule a 1-hour lab appointment via Zoom, and we'll show you the apps and the websites. We also offer assistive technology consultations and clinics. We have Tech Connection, which is an online social and life skills group for ages 14 and above. Under our AAC services, AAC is an augmentative alternative communication. We have Project Communicate, in which we offer a free 1-hour AAC consultation with a speech language pathologist. And we have a lot of information and resources on assistive technology.
Sure do.
Here's the list of our assistive technology webinars. And you can find them you can visit our task calendar on our website to see the upcoming ones and register for them through there. We have an assistive technology focused e-newsletter that goes out once a month. If you're not receiving it and would like to receive it, you can visit the website showed on the slide. You will put in your email address and your name, and you'll start receiving it the following month. I will send an email to everyone who attends today's webinar with a copy of the presentation. So you will have all of this information after the webinar. And feel free to contact us if you're looking for assistive technology, or you have specific questions. You can either email Laura or myself.
Okay, let's get started here. So what is AAC? AAC stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication, and AAC includes all forms of communication other than oral speech. So anything that expresses thoughts, needs, wants, or ideas. We all use AAC when we make facial expressions or gestures, use symbols, pictures, or even when we're writing. This is the federal definition of assistive technology device. Sometimes people get AT and AAC confused, so we're going to walk through that just a little bit. But assistive technology can be any item, piece of equipment, or product system, whether acquired commercially, off the shelf, modified, or customized, that's used to increase, maintain, or improve functional capabilities of individuals with disabilities. And AAC falls under a larger umbrella of assistive technology. So these are all examples of AAC. So picture boards, texting, picture cards, mid-tech, sign language, facial expressions. And here's our assistive technology umbrella. And so under that umbrella, all these things fall, including assistive technology for physical, include aids for daily living, access to computers or tablets, mobility, seating, anything like that. Education and learning aids, so low-tech items, software or applications. We have over 3,300 specialized applications. Today, what we're talking about is communication, or AAC, and under that falls no-tech, low-tech, mid-tech, and high-tech. And we're going to talk about all of those. And then under vision, aids for daily living, software or applications for someone who is blind or has low vision, and then Braille. And then under hearing, we have assistive listening devices, alerting devices, and then aids for daily living. So AAC is the part of assistive technology that focuses on communication. So a little bit about what an AAC system is. So an AAC system is a group of components used to enhance communication. So that can include all forms of AAC, aided or unaided, which we'll talk about, can be symbols. You have to take into account selection techniques and strategies. So can they point to access, or do they need another way to indicate their choice? So AAC is not just a device that talks, but it's a broad spectrum of applications, including all of these things: symbols, gestures, pictures, icons to enhance communication. It could be simple as this alphabet board here, or a 2-button communicator with 2 different messages, and beyond. So more on the AAC system. When you're designing an AA system, you need to incorporate each individual's strengths and needs. So you need to incorporate, or you should incorporate, the individual's full communication abilities. So that might include whatever existing speech they have, different vocalizations to indicate certain words or certain things, gestures, certainly. If they speak multiple languages, need to take that into account. And then could be some form of external system, like a speech generating device like this one here. And here is a communication bracelet, just a flat bracelet that goes on, and there are communication symbols there. So continued under AAC system. So someone might use, or individuals might use, multiple modalities or many systems of AAC in combination. And that's the change is gonna be based on context, audience, and communicative intent. And a well-designed AAC system is flexible and adaptable for change. Allows for changes to vocabulary as needed over time or by situation. And sorry, my mouse is stuck. It should maximize the individual's ability to communicate. That's our goal. So AAC systems might look different depending on the situation. So this kiddo might use an iPad or a dedicated communication device in typical situations, but while they're swimming, not such a great idea to take your iPad or dedicated device into the pool. So here's a laminated word board with swimming words. They're pointing to the word more here. Here's an adapted kickboard for swimming. That's just got a baggie with communication symbols in it. And I saw this and thought it was neat. Somebody took an empty 2-liter soda bottle and used the clear packing tape and sealed in communication words here that have to do with swimming. So sometimes you need to think outside the box and think about the situation that the person's in to come up with different ways to communicate. So here's a couple examples. You might have food choices or food words right on your refrigerator. This little boy is indicating he wants some bread. I've seen people that put actual food wrappers, you know, small potato chip wrapper or goldfish right on the cupboard, and they can touch whatever wrapper it is for the food they want, and they communicate that way. Just all different ways. Here's one for a restroom. It's got all kinds of words having to do with grooming and self-care, you know, showering and that different stuff. And it's laminated and just hangs on a hook in the shower. So types of AAC. So you'll hear the words unaided and aided when learning about AAC. And unaided basically means you don't need any tools or physical aids. So it's just whatever you can do with your own body. Sign language, gestures, movements, facial expressions, things like that. When it comes to aided communication, you do need tools, which might be pictures or photos, might be some form of technology, low, mid, or high tech. Could be a communication board or object symbols, which we'll talk about, or it might be written words or letters. It just really depends on the individual. So who uses AAC? So augmentative and alternative communications help for anyone that's unable to use speech in order to get their communication needs met. So it can include individuals with multiple, you know, a plethora of different diagnoses, and really anybody that is unable to communicate their thoughts, not just wants or needs, but what they're thinking. So what are the prerequisite skills for AAC? There are none. So anyone can use AAC. There are no definitive age, motor, or cognitive criteria for using AAC. I'm going to show you a video real quick. Maybe. There we go. Liz, can you see the video?
Yes.
Okay. And let me know a thumbs up if we have sound.
Where do I have to go, Callaghan, to talk about the dish? Can you show me? You point and I'll turn the pages for you. Turn the page. Good boy. Categories. Well done. Descriptions. Let's find number 24. Here's descriptions. Looks. Is this the one you want or this one? Which one do you want? Looks. Good boy. 24K. $24K. Which one are you touching? Dirty. Is this dish dirty? Good boy. And what else can you tell me about it? Is there anything in it? It's all gone. The Vegemite sandwich is all gone. Good boy.
Oops, let's get out of here. Okay, so in that video, you saw Culligan, and he's actually in this video, he was less than 3 years old. and he's using what's called the pod system, which we'll talk about. And he was also using vocalizations and other forms of communication. But he's just a little guy, and he was using quite a complex system there. So how people communicate. I thought it was interesting that 65% of communication is nonverbal. So facial expressions, tone of voice, movement, appearance, eye contact, gestures, posture. So some folks are unable to control their facial expressions, don't have a tone of voice to use if they don't have a voice, have trouble making eye contact, or maybe can't make eye contact. Sometimes their posture, depending on what their disability is, they can't control that either. So it's really important when we're communicating to take into account what people can do, and also remember that it might be more difficult to get their message across if they don't have the right word choices, or if they can't show you by their facial expression what it is that they need. So the first thing we're going to talk about is no tech. So we all communicate every day without saying a word. So we use gestures, sign language, nonverbal yes or no responses. A lot of our clients have, maybe a head nod or a, hand signals, eye blinks, things like that. We communicate with body language. If I have my arms folded, I'm probably not happy, or I'm cold. Think about other things, other ways you communicate without talking. So here are just some examples of no tech. So gestures, sign language, different facial expressions. And I'm going to show you a video. And this is about nonverbal communication, but I want you to see at what point in the video you understand what he's trying to order. And then we'll talk about it afterward.
What can I get started for you today? What size? All right. 3 venti lattes. Would you care for a pastry? Nope. Mocha. 3 mocha lattes. Oof. Double chocolate chip muffin. Yum. You want 3 Paul McCartney CDs. Awesome. I love the Beatles. They are my life. So assassination. Abraham Lincoln. You, me, gun, shoot. 3 shots. I know, I'm a little slow today. All right, so 3 lattes, 3 mochas, double chocolate chip muffin, and 3 shots. No assassinations. Oh, and 3 Paul McCartney CDs. That's gonna be 68.12.
Sorry about that, geez. Okay, so type in chat, just let me know if you knew what he was trying to order way before this guy at Starbucks did. Could you tell right away what he needed? Or was it hard to understand? Anyone? Okay. I could tell because I'm a coffee drinker. Me too. Whoops. Me too. Thank you, Sandra. So just to show when you can't talk, sometimes it's hard to get your point across. And sometimes people guess incorrectly, and it's got to be super frustrating. So we're going to move on to low tech, and low tech communication aids. They're defined as those that generally don't need batteries. Some people say that low tech are also one button switches, but it just depends. We're going to talk about low tech really quick. So usually they're simple to use. They're usually created by placing letters, words, phrases, pictures, or symbols on a board or in a book, which may be accessed. And so here's one example of a board. And then this is actually alphabet board in the QWERTY border with other things on it. And it's dry erase. So if they need to write on it or circle what they want. And then on the other side of the board are different symbols. So here are just some low-tech examples. So we talked about letter boards. There are also theme boards, which I will show you. Choice boards. A choice board might be something like, which activity do you want to do, or which thing do you want for breakfast, or things like that. Specific topics might have to do with something they're reading in school, or shoot, it could be Mr. Potato Head, or for a certain game, which we'll show you some of those. Again, here at the bottom is the Mayor Johnson or Board Maker communication bracelet, which comes, I think there's 2 different ones you can choose from. This is a communication flip book. So each tab opens and you can customize the symbols of things that they may want to talk about. So you can individualize them to each person. And then we're going to talk about the picture exchange or communication system, better known as Pecs. So here are some more low-tech examples. And just to give you an idea, but we'll go through them. Here's a Pecs system. It looks like a communication board for something specific. Another type of board. This one you can, here's the core words at the bottom, which we'll talk about. And then looks like they're working on colors or color choices. There's another Pecs type book and a Mayor Johnson board or board maker. So here we have, it looks like just an alphabet board, but it can be used for many other things. I've included in your handouts links to all of these boards, so you can either buy them or download them if they're free. On this board, somebody could do what's called scanning. So Liz, would you be able to help me show them scanning? Okay, so is it in row number 1? Row number 2? G, H, H. Okay, starting over. Row number 1, row number 2, G, H, I, H, I. Hi. Oh, hi, Liz. Thank you. So that's a form of partner-assisted scanning. And that can work with different boards and different methods. I'm going to show you a video later on in the class, but I just wanted to show you that. So here's a board that was made. It's available free on Teachers Pay Teachers. For someone who can read or spell that might not need symbols, there's your alphabet to spell things out, and commonly used words, he, she, you, they, and words all the way around, colors, things like that. This is a core language communication board, and we'll be talking about core language in just a little bit. But basically what core language is, it's the words that you use more often, most often during the day. So you might have a core language board, and then along with it, you might have a separate topic board. And I'll show you examples of those. And again, you can get this free here on this website. So here's an example of a school-themed board. So here are different choices, different things the child may have done during the day. This one I found online for free, and it's all about shopping. So could be for an adult or an older student. All different words that have to do with shopping. Other activities. So you can make boards or program in your devices words that have to do with grooming, your daily routines, food or drink choices, activity choices. You can choose between games. Do you want to play Sorry, Uno, or Connect 4? And then also watching TV. There's all kinds of different boards and things that can be printed out. So here are a couple more low-tech aids. So the first one is a Flip and Communicate wrist wrap, and it's just a sleeve that you pull on, and inside you can either print out symbols 6 at a time, 2 at a time, or one big symbol, and they can point to their choices, and then it just closes back up. Communication key rings. There's all kinds of templates for these. We actually have one. If you're interested, just email us, where you can print out, and they have functional words on them, like I need help, I have to go to the bathroom, I'm cold, I'm hot, I don't feel good, type of a thing. At the bottom here is a 4-grid communication book, and boy, I really like this one. It's put out by the people who do the Rett Syndrome Conference. So how the book works is it looks like this in the beginning, and you pick I like it, I don't like it, help, I can't say it, sorry, I feel. So then when you open up the tab, depending on which tab you pick, there are your choices inside under each of those categories. And then they also have a high contrast one for low vision or people that just like the high contrast better. So more examples of communication books. They can look different. This one is more your core vocabularies down here, and you can see on each tab here what the subject is, plus a keyboard always, and you can flip to whatever subject it is and work on there. So people, actions, food, different things like that. And this is a similar one. That's flip and talk there. Okay, POD, which stands for Pragmatic Organization Dynamic Display, is a big thing right now, big popular way to communicate. It is complicated. You saw the little boy in the beginning, Culligan, use his POD system, and I'm going to show you a more complex POD system. And there's a family that has several kiddos that use the POD system, and they have a YouTube channel called We Speak POD. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And then we'll look at one of the videos.
Do you have something to say?
Yes.
Quick chat, something's wrong. Think it's?
No.
I want, let's go. do something?
No.
I'm asking a question. I want to show you something. I'm telling a story.
Yes.
I'm asking a question.
Yes.
You are asking a question. Tell me yes or no. Do you want to? What's happening?
No.
Where is? Where are you going? Where?
Yes.
Where is?
Yes.
You are asking a question. Where is? See, go with, family.
No.
Me, you, someone here.
No.
School adults, school kids, friends.
Yes.
School adults.
Yes.
You are wondering where a school adult is. Nurse Jenna, Mrs. Wayman, Miss Hodnick.
Yes.
Nurse Jenna.
Yes.
You want to know where Nurse Jenna is. Oops, did you make a mistake?
No.
Do you have another word?
No.
Is that all you have to say?
Yes.
You want to know where Nurse Jenna is. Do you have something to say?
Oops,
Yes.
sorry about
Do you have
that.
something to say?
Yes.
Quick chat, something's wrong.
Sorry,
Think
I thought I
it's.
stopped it.
No.
I want, let's go, do something.
Let's get out of there. Sorry about that. It bumped me out of where I was. Here we go. So with that video, it was showing a pod user that uses a communication device that just says yes or no, while her mom is pointing, doing the partner assisted scanning, just to give you an idea of different ways things can be done. On to Pecs. Now, all of these systems we'll talk about more in depth in our second webinar that's coming up in the next couple weeks, which is called AAC Outside the Box. But I just want to give you an idea. So this is what Pecs looks like. And I'm going to show you a video because this is very, it's a very real.
Better, please. Thank you. Much better. Hey, what did you want? I want soda. Okay. All right, you got 3 sips, buddy. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. All right, let's talk some more about your day. Did you watch any TV? No? No TV? No news? Oh, downstairs? What'd you watch downstairs? Barney? Did you watch any Elmo? No. What about the airplane movie? Did you watch any of that? Over there on that TV? Yeah. Is his name Tom? Andy. Andy. Is his name Tom? No? Is it JJ? Yeah. All right, but hey, what did you want to do? I want movie. Okay.
Okay, I like to show that video because that's how things are in real life. I like the way he self-corrected when he saw that his symbol fell off. And you could also hear his vocalizations and see he was doing gestures as well. I've put resources in after each section. Again, Liz, if you joined later, Liz will be sending out a copy of the handouts to the email that you joined this session with. But I put on some low-tech vendors here and then some free AAC supports, things that you can download for free. So we're going to jump to mid-tech. And with mid-tech, it's usually something that requires batteries, and there's usually minimal training and minimal programming or setup. They might have multiple levels, so that increases function compared to a lower no-tech device. And then with mid-tech devices, you typically have voice output, which is synthesized or recorded speech versus digitized or computerized speech. So here are some mid-tech examples. We have the little step-by-step communicator. So this has 1, 2, 3 different levels. And you just press a button, say what record whatever your message is. You can do that on 3 different channels or levels and go from there. Over all the way to the right is the Talkable 4. You have 4 choices, and then they have a support here where you could put a picture card to match so they can see it better visually. Sorry. Here we have the GoTalk 9, but with GoTalks, there are all different ones, and I think I'm gonna try to show you a quick video.
Hey, so check it out. This is a emergency sleeping bag. These things normally cost $30, and during the wintertime, people...
Wow, just
This
what we wanted.
is the GoTalk 20 Plus augmentative and alternative communication device. A simple yet very helpful device. Let me show you how it works. Let's start by turning the GoTalk around. On the back, you have an on and off switch, a record button, and an erase button. Turning it back over, you have your level switcher and your volume control. Using the level switcher, you can cycle between 5 pages of 25 recorded messages for a total of 125 pre-recorded messages. These are the volume buttons, volume up and volume down. To activate one of the pre-recorded messages, simply press on one of the large message squares on the keyguard.
Lunch.
The overlays are stored inside and slide in and out very easily. Pictures for overlays can be printed from offline, or words can simply be written on a piece of paper and slid inside. Record a new message, simply press the record button on the back of the device. A red light will shine on the front, telling you that it's in record mode. Switch to your level, then press on the speech blurb that you want to record on. Once it's pressed, the red light will begin flashing, letting you know that it's recording. Simply press the record button on the back again to finish the recording. The GoTalk is a great communication device for people who have limited speech, people who have had strokes, have autism, and many more.
Okay. I like to show the GoTalk because they're all different ones, and many people have GoTalks. They tend to be rugged. You can carry them around and bang them around, and they don't typically get damaged. So I just wanted to point that one out. So here's some more mid-tech examples. We have the TechTalk, the Cheap Talk, which has inline like this, or there's a square one that has 4, or there's another one that has 8 different icon choices. Big Mac switches or 1-button switches that you can record. Talking photo albums are nice. You can put pictures in and maybe talk about, we went on vacation, or this is what I did this weekend. And then there are different, this is the talk track, but there are different wrist communicators as well. So static versus dynamic display. So what a static display is what you just saw on the GoTalk. That means the symbols have to be changed manually. You print them out, put them in, record, and then, switch around. And then a dynamic display is one where the language symbols change automatically as a normal part of the operating device. So I'm going to show you just a quick clip so you can kind of get the idea of what a dynamic display does.
My people, my friends, Max. My spaces. Word spaces. Actions.
9510. Sabrina.
Eat. My spaces. My food and drinks. Lunch. Spaghetti.
So you saw him navigating all those folders to get to spaghetti, and that's the difference with a dynamic display. They're like basically folder systems. So you open food, and then once you're in food, you can choose breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. And then when you open snacks, then you get your snack choices. So obviously much more language because, you know, thousands of messages or thousands of icons can be stored, but much higher learning curve as well. So that was a HighTech device that you saw, but basically a HighTech AAC aid are usually electronic devices. And again, you can store a lot of messages, and you have that computerized speech output. Sometimes people refer to them as SGDs or speech generating devices, or VOCAs, which is a voice output communication aid. So here are just some examples of HighTech devices. I know that's not the topic today, but I feel weird not including them. So a lot of dedicated devices or iPads or iPhones with AAC apps. So here are vendors, different AAC vendors. You'll get those resources. So next I want to talk about communication symbols. So we talked earlier about how it might be hard for somebody to, you know, use their facial expressions or their gestures or different things like that. So everyone who uses an AAC device or low-tech item has to learn different communication symbols. So symbols take the form of words, sounds, gestures, or visual images, and they're used to convey whatever that word is or your ideas and beliefs. So I used a red octagon because most people see a red octagon and they think stop, it's a stop sign. But with other symbols, they're not always as easy. So I've included some just examples of different symbol sets. And when you're using, depending on the collection or symbol set you're using, there are all kinds available which have been designed specifically for AAC and that are more commonly known across the board. And then there are some communication symbols where people might just want to use an actual picture of something. So it really just depends on the user and what a certain word, what the visual representation of that word is. So I just included commonly used symbol sets, Mayor Johnson, which is your board maker, picture communication symbols. There's the Unity language system, which is, here's, you know, and then symbol sticks. And I'll show you some different ones in just a minute. I included some communication symbol generators, which enable you to create boards and things like that. Board Maker has been around for a long time. It's on a subscription basis. Those are these symbols here. Then there are widget symbols, look kind of like this. The one I've been using a lot lately is called Lesson Picks. It's a great tool. And let's see if I can open it just to show you. What's nice about Lesson Picks is it's really easy to use, and it's only $36 per year. You can create your own materials and use them immediately, or you can use other people's materials that they've created, and you can even edit them. So just want to make you aware of that resource. So here are some different symbols, just so you can see what the different ones look like. So this is the help symbol with all different language symbol systems. So this is one from Cough Drop. These are all the word help, lesson picks, symbol sticks, Unity, widget, or board maker. So these are all kind of similar. This one, you get the idea. Maybe somebody wouldn't understand that a hand means help. Maybe somebody would. And then there's that red cross there. So I put in some resources for free AAC symbols. They're not fantastic, but they do the job and they work well. Do to Learn has some really great ones. So this symbol here on the right all means the same thing. Can somebody type in chat and tell me what you think that symbol stands for? You think not? Hungry. That's exactly it, hungry. Yes, Elvia, you'll be getting a copy of the PowerPoint and the resources, and all the links are clickable. So you can just open it and click away. So here's an example of PCS symbols, which are board maker Mayor Johnson symbols, just to give you an idea. I call these the eggheads because that's what all the people look like. Here's also same set of symbols, but high contrast. These are symbol sticks for obvious reason. They look like stick figures. Does anybody know what these squares, what that word means? What that symbol means? Size, that's a good guess. Go a little further. This is big, so it's pointing at the big square. So this is a symbol for big. You may not get that, right? So it's a learning curve. Learning symbols is like learning a language. This is the Unity language system. This is what Prentke Roma uses. It's been around a long time, but it's basically its own language. So this symbol here with Shakespeare on the book, what would you think that stands for? Anyone? This book here. Well, when I first saw it, I thought it meant read or Shakespeare. It actually is the verb to be in their language system. Here's word power language system, which basically if you don't need symbols, there are just words to choose from. Some symbols too. These are cough drop symbols. They look a little different from other symbols. Everyone has their own symbol sets. This is another symbol set put out by TechOwl, which is part of Temple University. They made a free symbol set here. But some people may not understand these symbols. So it's really important to try different symbol sets and to give the AAC user a chance to learn the different symbols and what they mean. So we're going to do a little activity here. We're going to decode these sentences. Now I'm going to give you a big hint and tell you that these are both the same sentence in two different symbol systems. And if you can, type in the chat for me, just anything, whatever you think the symbols say. Try to decode one of the sentences. Think about if you couldn't read and you were given this sentence, would you be able to understand what it said? Good morning, in the morning I go to school. Good guess. Anyone else have a guess? Well, Dina, you were close. Good morning, I walk to school. So what it actually says, sunny outside, I will turn lights off. I love it. In the morning, I will go. Thank you for your guesses. So this symbol is today. I am going. She's standing on the line. That's on. And believe it or not, that's vacation. Today, I am going on vacation. Would any of you have gotten that if you were just handed that and expected to read it? No, exactly. So just use this exercise to point out exactly. Yeah, I would never guessed either. Just to show that when students or adults or whoever are given symbols or systems and expected to know them right away, it's kind of unfair. It's kind of like giving me something in German and expecting me to just know it and read it out loud to you. So one more. Again, it's different sentence from before, but the same. Is there a key to know these symbols and their meaning? No. Well, yes and no. So to know the symbols, it really depends on the symbol system that you use, and you just have to teach. And we talk about in the second one how we model and inform and teach what the different symbols mean, because it's really, really difficult to know some of these. So here's another set, same sentence again, and I'll have you try to guess. Thank you for those of you. First, I am angry. Anyone else have a guess? on, guys, it's Friday. Woohoo. Turn off the temperature. I'm hot. That's a good one. Okay, ready? This, one down. This is very frustrating. This is very frustrating. That's what both of those sentences say. Yes, it is. Right? So that's the point of these, not to frustrate you, but to show, boy, there's really a learning curve. And people can't, set a board down in front of somebody and, in 10 minutes go, oh, well, they can't use it. They don't understand it. Well, you wouldn't either, right? So another way, if somebody doesn't understand the symbols, or if they have low vision or lower cognitively, you can also use what are called tangible object cards. Now you know how the nonverbal kiddos feel, right? It's really hard. I need a translator to translate the Pecs. I love it. So good. I'm doing my job, getting my point across. So with tangible object cards, again, with someone with low vision or lower cognitive level, sometimes you might want to start out with real objects or things, something that means something to an individual. So what happens is that creates a visual and a tactile way to help teach them what the symbols are. And it combines the visual cue with a different object. So down below here, you can see somebody made this board, and for drink, they use a plastic, just use a plastic cup. So someone with low vision could feel it, or someone that usually drinks out of a cup that's like that knows, yep, I want to drink. Play, they're using a wiffle ball, bubbles, stuffed animal, puzzle piece, different things like that mean things to different people. To somebody, drink might mean a water bottle or a sippy cup, depending on who they are. You can buy tangible object cards. We do have a set. They are on the expensive side, and some of them have weird symbols, right, Liz? Yes. So the one for Reed has a book. Outside has some artificial grass. And then the bathroom has like the male and female bathroom signs, but it also has a little toilet on it. So depending on who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, you could go to Dollar Tree and get little dollhouse furniture. They have little toilets, they have little chairs, different things, create tangible symbols if you have the time or the inkling, or you can buy them. Dina, I'm going to answer your question in a few minutes, but basically, if you have questions about your own specific kiddo, we would rather you email us so that we can answer you for your situation. Normally for schools, you would have an AAC evaluation done, and depending on your child's needs or abilities, they would probably include all different kinds of object cards, things like that, hopefully. So access methods. So not everyone can directly access assistive technology or anything. So direct access can include pointing, direct selection, eye gaze, if they have an eye gaze device, pointing devices like a head pointer or mouth stick. I'm going to show you in a few minutes what that looks like. Indirect access will be something like scanning, like we showed you before. But I like this quick video here because she has this partner-assisted scanning down. She is a boss. Oh, good. We get an ad.
That face that is usually covered by her phone
Sorry
has
about that.
All right, Kylie, what do you want? More? Stop? Go? Oh, I heard you say go. Okay, let me switch to my places and so you can tell me where you want to go. Did you want to go to the pool? School? Grocery? Library? Mall? I heard you click for mall. Mall, you want to go to the mall? Okay, let's go.
So her partner was pointing and she was clicking when she wanted to make her choice. So that's an example of scanning. So again, with access, you know, some people may not be able to use their hands, but they might be able to point with their nose or with their foot or with their toe. It just depends. Here's some examples. So there's just pointing. This is using a pointer tool, which is just a pencil hooked into a PVC pipe, so they can more easily point. Down on the bottom is old school low-tech eye gaze, where they stare at a certain section and do the partner-assisted scanning like Liz and I did earlier. Up here in the top right, that's my friend Rick, and he actually invented this pointer for himself because he uses a communication device, and so he uses a chin pointer. But he's also an artist, so when he needs to paint, he can't paint with his chin, otherwise he couldn't see what he was painting. So this actually flips upwards and the stick faces down, and he can attach paintbrush to it, and he's able to paint. So he came up with that invention after years of trying different things. This is what works for him. Another one of our board members, Tim, uses his toes. So I'm going to show you a video of him because he's awesome.
My name is Tim. Do you like my new setup?
So Tim's got the awesome setup, and he is a master at typing with his toes. Took a lot of different tries to figure that out. But he's actually, now he uses an iPad mini, which is even smaller. And he has his speaker up more towards his head so people don't look down at the ground, down at his feet while he's talking. They look at his face, hopefully. So I put in some AAC resources that I hope are helpful for you. So ASHA, which is the American Speech and Language Hearing Association. Then there's the California, or CASHA. Everyone Communicates has such great info. They're always adding different things. Same with Practical AAC. Speech and Language Kids has lots of freebies. And then USAC is the U.S. Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. They have a conference and they have all kinds of different items. Oh, somebody said thank you for showing the videos, and that I know these individuals are amazing. And we're at the end. I whipped through that fast. We're at the end, and I will, Liz and I will answer questions, but first I'm going to flip to ask you to all fill out your workshop evaluation, if you wouldn't mind. Liz put the SurveyMonkey link in the chat so you can click on that directly. Please be sure to put in your email address in the Survey Monkey when you fill it out online, because anyone that has filled it out and put in their email address, we will put you in a drawing that we do each month for a $25 Amazon gift card. If you like to use QR codes, this one here, you just open your camera on your phone, point at it, and it'll take you directly to that Survey Monkey link as well. Again, in case you joined late, Liz and I are available by email. If you want to call us, we're still working from home. You can call the main number and they'll give us the message, but email is really the best way. If you'd like to talk to us about something specific for your child or your client, we'd like to help you privately. And or if you need resources or have questions, we'd love to answer them. And again, if you could please fill out the survey. If anything on the survey doesn't have, sometimes the questions don't have anything to do with what we taught that day, just go ahead and mark NA for us, and that'll help us out. And I'll go back to that evaluation form. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We are doing, Liz is doing the same